Well, I have a lot of good stuff to talk about today. Let's talk about the difference between diabetes mellitus and diabetes insipidus. They both have some similar symptoms. I'll tell you right at the front end, the diabetes mellitus is due to a sugar issue, and diabetes insipidus, is due to another issue. Has nothing to do with sugar. They have nothing to do with sugar with diabetes insipidus, only diabetes mellitus. But they do have similar factors, and they both create increased thirst and increased urine production. Diabetes mellitus, the sugar diabetes, might double your urine production instead of a quart and a half to 3 quarts a month, or a day. And then diabetes insipidus, you might go to 20 quarts a day, okay? And extreme thirst in both cases. Now, diabetes mellitus is a lack of insulin because they didn't get enough nutrients to make enough insulin, okay? Diabetes mellitus is a simple nutritional deficiency disease of 2 minerals. Okay, diabetes insipidus is a little more complicated. It can be caused by, osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the different parts of the brain, including the hypothalamus and pituitary, and also MS, multiple sclerosis, which has to do with demyelination, the loss of the insulation material in the brain and spinal cord and so forth. Okay? And in kids, MS is called the Guillain-Barré syndrome, but it's the same thing as MS in adults, okay? And so that's kind of interesting. 2 different things. Clinically, they appear the same initially, but when you start taking blood samples and this and the other, it's very obvious they're 2 different diseases. Then the life expectancy in the United States, even though our doctors stand on top of the Empire State Building and beat their chest and say we have the most wonderful healthcare system in the world, our average life expectancy in the United States is 75. In the world, we rank somewhere between 45th and 53, depending on whose data you look at. There's all these other countries who live much longer than us without health issues, okay? So what's going on here? Well, here's the secret. You've heard of dairy cows. You know, the farmer rings a bell, or beats an iron pan or something like that, and all the dairy cows come running up to the barn. They get in their stanchion. He puts the lock on them. He gives them a couple of cups or half a bucket full of grain as a reward for coming in. He milks them and turns them loose, and he rings the bell again tomorrow. Well, arthritis, and how much do we spend? How much do we spend in treating arthritis per year in the United States? $626.8 billion we spend in treating arthritis. How much do we spend in treating diabetes in the United States? $342 billion per year, okay, in the United States. Heart disease, $316.8 billion. Obesity, 210 to 260, depending on whose data you're looking at, billion. Okay, I was surprised at that, but there's a reason why. Okay, let's see here. High blood pressure, we spend $131 billion a year in treating high blood pressure in the United States, and MS, multiple sclerosis, $85 billion. Oh my gosh. Okay? And it's one of those things where, come on, why are we having such a difficulty in treating and expense in treating all these diseases? They're all nutritional deficiency diseases. They're all nutritional deficiency diseases. They're not autoimmune. They're not genetic. And so what's going on here? Well, the pharmaceutical industry is the one paying the bill. And that's why your personal insurance premiums are so high, because you are paying for all these payments for the treatments. See, these are treatments. We can do a better job. We can get it down to, say, 2% what they're spending in all these different diseases. We can get rid of these diseases: arthritis, diabetes, heart disease, obesity, high blood pressure, MS, for pennies on the dollar. For pennies on the dollar. This is very scary stuff. Okay? Now, I think I have in the pile here somewhere. The cost, okay? The cost of treating these diseases. Well, who gets the money? Well, a combination of the insurance companies and the doctors. So that says it all right there. And so I urge you to pay attention let's get rid of these diseases, and we will save America an enormous amount of money, enormous amount of unnecessary misery, and even equally as important, we're going to add 25 to 50 healthy years to people's lives. I'm so excited about this because now we have the dollars. We know exactly how much America is being cheated by, okay? We're talking over $1 trillion a year in just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different diseases, okay? It's kind of crazy. Well, it's an industry, and they've done, a job in making sure they get more than their share. Kind of interesting. All right, let's move on a little bit, and let's move on to, of course, Johanna Mazibuko, one of my favorite ladies. May 11th, she just turned 128. She was born in 1894, May 11th, 1894, from South Africa, born in a little dairy farm and Brisbane.